before we get into the specifics about why Waubonsee specifically, we kind of want to go over the question of why college. So college, as you know, it's an investment in your time. It's an investment with your money. And so a good question that we hear a lot is, why should I be pursuing higher education in the first place? What's the return on investment for me if I put in all of this time and all of this money towards my education? So what we've got here is a little bit of income information for you based on the credential that you would have. So for a high school graduate, the average yearly income is $39,000 per year. Some college, so meaning maybe you started somewhere but you didn't quite finish a degree or a certificate, can be $43,000 per year. An associate's degree, which is one of the things that you could potentially earn at Waubonsee. Waubonsee offers both associate degrees and certificate programs. The associate's degree, that earning jumps up to $46,000 per year. And then if you decide to go ahead and pursue your education even further and go for a bachelor's degree, the earnings jump even more to $65,000 per year. So taking a look at that over the course of your lifetime, assuming that you're going to be working full-time for 40 years, the average amount of time that people are working, for a high school graduate, your total earnings would be $1.2 million. Some college, so again, if you attended but you didn't finish a degree or certificate, $1.5 million, an associate's degree, $1.6, and a bachelor's degree, $2.1. So you can see that there really is a very valuable income benefit and return on investment there for pursuing higher education. So a little bit about unemployment rates and earnings by educational attainment. So we're talking about people who may have higher education and what type of credential do they have and what is the unemployment rate for these groups of people. So as you can see, the more education you have, the less the unemployment rate is. So starting at the bottom of the little pyramid there is if you haven't finished high school, going up through, you got your high school diploma, you went to college, but you didn't earn a degree. If you earned an associate's degree, bachelor's, master's, any professional degree on top of that, and then a doctoral degree. So you can see there's a pretty big leap between the unemployment rates as you continue to go up the ladder of educational credentials. So why Waubonsee specifically? All of us that work at Waubonsee think that it's a great choice for you for starting your college journey, but you're here tonight because we want to share with you why we think it's a good choice. So we're going to go over quite a few things, but kind of the high level things that Waubonsee likes to really emphasize and have as pillars for us as an institution on things that are important to us and values that we want to have for students. Flexibility, and with that comes affordability, open enrollment admissions, transferable credits, because a lot of our students want to transfer on to another institution after doing some work here, giving students the opportunity to attend full-time or part-time. Quality, so for our instructors are renowned professors for their programs. Most of them are either currently practitioners within their fields or they've been practitioners for quite some time. So they're bringing their real world experience to you in the classroom. And support, that's important. So once you get here, what are the things that we have that are going to help you be successful? Because that's the main thing for us. We want you to be successful during your time here. We want you to have a good experience. So under the support, we're a diverse campus. We're a 4-campus network. We'll learn a little bit about those 4 campuses in a bit. And we give you the opportunity for campus involvement because really we want this experience to be more for you than just coming to class and leaving and going home or going to your job or whatever else you may have on your plate. We want you to be able to get involved and build connections and really allow yourself to feel a sense of community while you're here. So just some pictures we want to show you. These are pictures of our Sugar Grove campus. We are located in Sugar Grove, Illinois, right on Route 47. When you're driving along Route 47, you don't necessarily realize that behind the entrance to the college, we've got this beautiful landscape here with lots of wildlife and lots of just really nice outdoor spaces to be able to enjoy. This really is a huge campus. We want to give a sense of that through some of the pictures. A lot of students, when they come and they walk around the campus for the first time, one of the first reactions that we hear is, oh my gosh, I had no idea that the campus was so big. So a couple other kind of an aerial view of our Sugar Grove campus right from the center of campus. So you can see a few of the buildings and it goes out further on both ends of campus. And then we included a picture of the turkey because we wanted to illustrate some of the wildlife that we have on campus. And the turkey is one that had caught people's attention for quite some time. So going back to those pillars that I talked about, the first thing that we want to talk about is affordability. And community college tuition is based on in-district, so meaning that you live within the district that the community college serves. So for Waubonsee Community College, the tuition for our in-district residents, this is a 21-22 academic year, so the next academic year coming up, is $140 per credit hour. Most of our classes, the overwhelming majority of them, are 3 credits apiece. So you're going to take that per credit hour and multiply it by your number of credits. So if we're looking at a single class that's 3 credits, you're looking at about $420 per class. The 12 credit hours we put in there because 12 credits is the threshold for full-time students. We get the question a lot of, well, what's the difference between full-time and part-time? And it really is that credit hour number. So if you're planning to do 12 hours, which is the minimum for full-time, you're looking at $1,680 per semester. And that's going to be your tuition and your student fees. The textbooks are an additional cost. We tell students typically to budget about $500 for that, and anything that you might have that's specific to your program. For example, if you're a nursing student, that might require you to have a badge or a uniform or anything like that. Those would be costs that we would talk to you about as well. But just the base tuition, we wanted to be sure to share that with you. So a little bit of a comparison. Where do we compare in terms of some of our neighbors who are also different institution types from us? So we've got Waubonsee over on the far right there for the academic year with tuition and fees averaging about $33.60. Northern Illinois is our neighbor up the road, a 4-year public institution. So we like to give a comparison by institution type. Their average is going to be at $12,163. And Aurora University, kind of our neighbor going east of here as a private 4-year college, their tuition is going to average around $25,960. Financial aid and scholarships. So the college offers many opportunities for financial assistance for students. There's 4 basic types of financial aid that are available to our students that we like to talk to everybody about. So grants, loans, scholarships, and on-campus employment. And so the grants, loans, and employment piece come as a result of the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, which you may or may not have heard of. But when you complete the FAFSA and we get that information back and you get a report back to you on what your aid could be, grants, loans, or employment are some of the options that you could get. So scholarships are things, whether they are scholarships that come internally from the college. Waubonsee Community College does have a foundation that awards a number of scholarships to students. Those scholarships can come from there, or they can come from an outside organization. So for example, if your employer or your parent's employer offers something, if there is a community organization offering a scholarship, many of our students are getting aid from those resources as well. The applications for the Waubonsee provided scholarships, the ones through the foundation, unfortunately for the year that has passed, the 2021, the foundation provided 367 scholarship awards totaling $331,000. 325 recipients got scholarships from us. So as you can see, they award a pretty large amount of money to a wide variety of students. The alternative application for Illinois financial aid is available as well. So when you're looking at financial aid that you apply for, whether you're going to do the FAFSA or the alternative application, you do one or the other. So you're going to do the FAFSA based on a certain set of qualifications, and the alternative application would be there for you if, after reading what you need to qualify for the FAFSA, if you don't meet those things, the alternative application is there through the state of Illinois. We are an open enrollment admissions college. So what that means is that we do not have a minimum GPA and we don't require standardized testing as a condition of admission. So what that means for us is that once you complete our new student application, you're able to take courses with us. There are classes specifically that might have prerequisites on them that you might have to meet in terms of test scores or things like that. But overall, to be admitted into the college, we don't require any standardized testing or GPA. For our students that might still be in high school, there are a number of dual credit options available as well. And so dual credit can be specifically through your high school. Your high school may have a partnership with us where they are offering you dual credit opportunities to take college level courses on your campus or remotely if you're still earning remotely. Or you could be a student that perhaps you're getting out of your high school classes early for a day, or you're picking up a night class here, or you've added an online course. So you aren't necessarily taking it in your building with different people from your school. You're kind of doing that independent of the school, but getting dual credit for that. So quality and academic experience. What are our class sizes like? Our class sizes are pretty small. We have a 19-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So we always tell students, if you're thinking that it's going to be one of those huge lecture halls with 500 of your closest friends in class with you, that's not the type of environment that you'll typically see here. Our largest classroom, lecture style classroom, caps out at about 48. So and that's typically like a Psych 100 class or something that would run in there. But by and large, you're at the 19-to-1 rate. The faculty are practitioners in their field. So as I mentioned before, these are all people that have been in their fields for quite some time. They're bringing their current and real world experience to you. So they're great resources. They're able to help you, make connections within the industry that you're interested in. And we do have a number of modalities too. These are new for us in light of COVID and needing to make some adjustments to be able to expand our remote learning opportunities. So we have in-person classes, just like they sound, an opportunity for you to come to one of our campuses and sit live in a classroom with classmates. Hybrid is going to be a mix of that. So there's going to be part of your courses where you'll have the opportunity to come on campus and do an in-person lesson. And then there's going to be components to the class that are also online. When something is listed as just online, that means that 100% of the course is done online with no in-person requirement to it. So basically, you're doing the work for that class at a time that's convenient for you. Async online is where the course is online, but it does have a specific date and time that you would have to meet for the course. So it's actually going to be a live lesson over Zoom, like similar to what we're doing now. You'll be in that class with your classmates who are all in the Zoom room with you, the instructors in the Zoom room with you. So it gives you that structure of having to be in a specific place at a certain time and that live learning opportunity. And then flex courses give you the opportunity to mix it up. So for example, you might decide one week that you really want to come to campus or you need to be on campus for something. So you can come and go to that class in the in-person format. The next week, you might need to be home for whatever reason, childcare issues, or you've got someone coming to the house to do something. So you need to go to class, but you have to be sitting at home to do it. That week, you could attend the course in an online format. Or maybe there's a week where, you just can't swing going to a class at a specific time in person. The online doesn't quite work either. You have the opportunity to go in and take a look at the recording of that course session and make up that course session on your own time. So it really does give you the opportunity to flex how you do that class from week to week. Support. So what are the services here that we have to help you once you get here? Tutoring services is a big one. We like to talk to students about this because, everybody kind of has that one class during their time in college that might be a little bit more challenging than others, and you might need some extra help. So we want to let students know that tutoring services are available virtually and in person. They are a free service. So all of these services that we're talking about are no cost to you at all. 24/7 online tutoring is available via a smart thinking program that the college offers. And then different specific departments on campus that you might find are something that you could use. The Access Center for Disability Resources, that's going to be an office for students who have either a physical or a learning disability. So for example, let's say over winter time, you slip and fall on the ice and you break an ankle. The Access Center is going to be able to help you with, getting maybe a parking pass to allow you to park closer to the building. If you're a student who in high school had an IEP and you want to continue similar types of services at the college level, the Access Center will work with you to determine what accommodations you may be entitled to and how to get those up and running in your classes. Academic and career advising is available. So for our new students who haven't had any college credit prior to coming to us, you're going to be working with the admissions office, and you'll have an advisor there that will walk you through that process of scheduling your first semester of courses. Admissions really only does that first semester advising. So once you have started that first semester, a couple weeks in, you're going to get some outreach from academic and career advising, assigning you to an advisor who will be yours for the rest of the time at the college. For those of you who may have attended college previously before coming to Waubonsee, you're going to be working with academic and career advising right out of the gate. So admissions will walk you through, how to fill out the application and those sorts of things. But we want to have someone from academic and career advising talking to you so that they can look at that prior credit and see, what might be able to be transferred in. Counseling is available, and by counseling we mean personal counseling. So everybody is in a challenging environment right now with things with COVID. Everybody has things that come up in their personal lives. If you find yourself in a position where you might need some short-term counseling to help with dealing with those things, those services are available. TRIO is a federally funded program for students who are either first generation, meaning your parent or guardian does not have a college degree based on your income or based on having a physical or learning disability. So if you have one of those criteria or more, TRIO is an opportunity for you to apply for some extra support. So you will get another advisor specifically with the TRIO program. They go on different sorts of, when we're back in person, college visits for if you're planning to transfer. They go to social events. They just provide some extra check-in and extra support to you during your time here. And then Waubonsee Works is for students who, based on certain criteria, and there are some age criteria there and a couple other things, there may be an opportunity for Waubonsee Works to assist in picking up the cost of tuition and materials for your courses. So if you think that Waubonsee Works might be something that you qualify for, that is something that we can certainly give you information for. So technology assistance, this is a big one, especially now. We have a lot of students who come to us and say, I am really interested in starting courses, but so much of what you're doing is online right now. I don't know that I have the equipment that I need to be able to do the class successfully. So if you find yourself in that position, we have the computers, the hardware, the equipment that we can loan to you. So what that means is, if you have a laptop that maybe is not the most reliable or you don't have one at all, we can loan one out to you. If you need a webcam as part of your online class, we can loan that out to you. And then other devices needed to complete coursework. So some of those might be like a hotspot or something along those lines if your internet connection isn't always the most stable. Microsoft Office is free to all students. So all of the things within that suite that you might need to complete your college coursework are available to you at no cost. And then software assistance. So once we loan out this equipment, or even if we don't loan any equipment to you, if you have any concerns with software that you might have, how do you get started using it? How do you install this piece of software that you need? We have technical assistants who can walk you through all of those things and make sure you know how to use all of those pieces that you're going to need before class starts. Transferability. So transferability gives the option for students to complete their general education courses at Waubonsee with the intention of then transferring to a four-year school, typically to pursue a bachelor's degree. Over 70% of the students that attend Waubonsee are pursuing a transfer degree. We get a lot of questions of, well, how do I know that my classes are going to transfer? I want to make sure that I'm taking these courses and they're going to go with me to whatever school is my next choice. We have what's called Illinois Articulation Initiative, and I'm having a hard time articulating that, called the IAI. And that's an agreement between the community colleges and the four-year public institutions in the state of Illinois. And what it says is that if you complete the associate's degree with us, as we lay it out for you, and we do have pathways based on major that lay out exactly what courses you will need to transfer to a four-year school, if you complete that associate's degree in its entirety, the whole thing transfers as a package. So they take everything that's within it. We get the question, well, what if I'm going out of state, or what if I'm going to a four-year private in the state of Illinois? We send students all over the country. We have had students go, right next door to a school in Indiana. We've had them go across the country to California, and we work with all of those students to make sure that those courses will transfer with them to the school of their choice. We do have additional partnerships, so some expanded agreements and partnerships with colleges, some of them tied to specific majors, but just a few of the colleges that we have those agreements with are Arizona State, Eastern Illinois, Elmhurst, and there's a number of others that you can find transfer partnership details on our website. Some more about transferability. So when you're kind of deciding, do I want to transfer? Do I want to maybe go through a CTE, Career Technical Education program? Here's kind of some things that you need to know. To transfer with an associate's degree, what you would do at Waubonsee is earn half of the courses needed for your bachelor's degree. So 60 of the 120 credits that you need for a bachelor's degree would be done here at Waubonsee. Of those 60 credits, about 37 are general education requirements. So like the English, the math, the communications, the social sciences, those things that everybody has to have regardless of major. The remaining courses are electives. So if you know what your major is and you want to get those introductory classes to your major completed, or maybe you have certain classes within the major that are required before you'll get into the program at the four-year school, those are things that you can complete with us. You can transfer with a specialty degree. So those of you pursuing engineering, we have a specific degree that's geared toward engineers. Fine arts. So if you're really into, art, design, those sorts of things, there is a specific degree for fine arts. And there's one within fine arts that's specific to music. You can also transfer with just a few credits. So we have some students who say, I really think I might only want to spend a semester or spend a year at Waubonsee. What can I do? And can I make sure my courses will transfer? Absolutely. You can, take a semester here to get a jump start before going to your 4-year. You can decide that maybe the first year is what you want to do while you figure things out. We work with students regardless of whether they're going to be here for a short while or for a long while. So I mentioned career-focused programs before. We have a number of applied science degrees, and these are really meant for students who are thinking that transferring is not what they want to do. They really want to just spend a couple of years doing the courses that are very specific to their major and go straight into the workforce. So with these degree programs, there's very few gen ed requirements. So you're not going to have nearly as many as a transfer student, because if you need to be employable after that 2 years with that degree, most of those courses have to be within that discipline that you're pursuing. So these are the list of the career-focused programs that we have. There are some of these that have transfer options to them, but by and large, these are not designed to transfer to a 4-year school. So what about undecided? About 60% of the students that attend Waubonsee are uncertain of their major. They might have a couple of things that they're kind of trying to decide between, or they really just don't have any idea what they want to pursue. And so this is a great place to allow you to figure that out. So as we mentioned before, tuition is pretty low. So from a financial perspective, Waubonsee gives you a low-cost way of trying out a lot of different courses with the hope that as you're in one of those, maybe one of them sparks your interest and you say, hey, this is really an area that I like, or an area that I find that I'm strong in. I might want to pursue this as my major. We also have many services for our undecided students to kind of help them narrow their choices down. So that might come in the form of a career exploration class, which is actually a credit course that you would sign up for, and you would be taking different types of assessments. So they would be personality and strength assessments. And based on the results of those, you're going to get a list of potential careers that could be a good fit for you based on what your likes are or where your strengths are. Career counseling is an opportunity where you can sit with an academic and career advisor to just talk out some of those areas of interest and see what might be a good fit for you, and find out what are the jobs that you can do with this major that you might be pursuing. And internships are another thing. So it used to be, back in the day, most students started pursuing their internships when they got to their 4-year school. That isn't so much the case anymore. To be able to have that resume right out of college that shows that you've got some experience, internships are really the way to do that. And it's never too early to start thinking about an internship. So we have an office here that works specifically with our students to hook them up with internship opportunities. And we want you to do that as early in on your academic career as possible. So diversity, we talked a little bit about how our campuses are very diverse, and these are just a few of the programs that highlight some of that. So our Council for Access and Inclusion, they promote social justice and inclusiveness within the college, and they do that through different types of programming. So diversity sorts of gatherings based on different sorts of topics, things that might be happening in the current climate, or things that our students have brought as concerns regarding diversity, an opportunity to sit and talk with other students, sit and talk with staff about these sorts of things. Triumph is a program that's specifically to our male students of color and how to navigate the college environment, both academically and socially. So this is an opportunity to get some additional support, some mentorship that's available to you. Student Life has a number of various cultural clubs and organizations that you can join. So for example, Spectrum is a course that our LGBTQ students might be able to join. There are students who are taking or being part of clubs based on maybe foreign language or background. There are just a lot of different sorts of organizations that you can join. Statistic-wise, as far as what does our campus look like specifically, we are 56% Caucasian, 31% Latinx, and 8% African American. So a little bit more statistics about the college. The average age of our credit students is actually 23. So that's something that tends to surprise students. A lot of them think that everybody that's in their courses is going to be somebody that's fresh out of high school. And I can tell you that that is definitely not the case. One of the really nice things about a community college environment is that there is a lot of age diversity within your classes. So there are people that are bringing their experience and their current situations from all walks of life. And you're hearing all sorts of different perspectives in your class, which really kind of enhances your learning experience. As far as that full-time, part-time that we talked about, 80% of our students are actually enrolled part-time. So the overwhelming majority of our students are under that 12 credit hour threshold that we talked about. We're 55% female, 45% male, and this 12,859, that is a number that surprises students too. So a lot of people tend to think that community colleges are going to be pretty small. The overall student body isn't going to be that big. So when they see this number of 12,859, they're typically pretty surprised, like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that a community college could be that large. So yes, it is definitely a very large campus. You will encounter lots of new and different people, opportunities to make lots of different friends. You are not in a scenario where you are going to know every single person that passes you on the sidewalk or every single person that's in your online class. So extracurricular activities, this is super important, and we like to talk about this because one of the things that's kind of conspicuously absent at community colleges is we are not a residential campus. Most community colleges are not. So, there's no dorms that you go to after class. You're not living on campus. Typically, most of you are either still living at home or maybe you've got an apartment out on your own. So what are ways outside of the classroom that you help build some community, that you get some social engagement within the college? Those for us come in the form of our athletic teams and our student clubs and organizations. So athletic teams, we are part of NJCAA as our organization or where that competing body comes from. And so our Division I sports are for men, soccer, cross country, tennis. For women, soccer, cross country, and tennis as well. Division II, we have volleyball. It is a women's team only. Men's basketball, women's basketball, softball, and golf is a men's team only. Our Division III is baseball. We do also have an active cheerleading that's co-ed as well. 44 different clubs and organizations, and some of the ones highlighted here are just some of the bigger ones that have some large student numbers that are involved. Student Senate is a great opportunity to practice your leadership skills and get an opportunity to really have a voice on campus to bring your concerns and concerns of other students to the forefront. Phi Theta Kappa is an academic honor society that you could be invited to depending on your GPA that you've gotten here at the college. Mathematical Engineering Club and healthcare providers are just a couple of the discipline-based clubs. So people that are in your major that you might be studying as well. Creative writing, this could be because you're an English major. It could be because writing is a hobby for you. There's all types of different students that take part in that. Spectrum is for our LGBTQ community. And National Technical Honor Society is the honor society for the students who are in those career education programs. So the Phi Theta Kappa, for the most part, those are students that are pursuing transfer degrees. National Technical are for the students who are not pursuing transfer degrees. So quality, campuses and facilities. As I mentioned before, we are a 4-campus network. So Sugar Grove is our main campus and our largest campus. Aurora Downtown is really right in the center of downtown Aurora. It is a 1-building campus, but it's very large, has a very large student population that goes to classes on that campus, and really is a very much more urban sort of feel than what you might find from our Sugar Grove campus. Our Aurora Fox Valley campus is on the Copley Hospital campus, and this is our healthcare campus. So if you're pursuing any of our careers in healthcare, whether it be nursing or phlebotomy or medical assistant, most of your courses that are specific to that discipline are going to be out of the Aurora Fox Valley campus. And our Plano campus has recently gotten a makeover of sorts into our Innovation and Design Center. And so this is going to be the campus that houses some of our more technical degrees. Some of the more prominent ones are cybersecurity, which is a new program for us. Welding is a big program for us that has moved out to that campus. So many of the courses that are offered here are very discipline specific. All of our campuses typically have a few gen eds that might be offered once we're back and doing things more on campus, but particularly for Plano and Fox Valley, they do have more of a focus in terms of the courses offered there. Okay, well, I know we gave a lot of information in a short amount of time tonight, and we really went over the high level things about the college. If you have any questions as far as how do you actually get started with this process, where do I find the application, what are the things that I need to do to get started, admissions is your team for helping you with that. So please, please, please give us a call or shoot us an email, and we would be happy to help you through this process and get you through all of the things that you need to do for getting started. Thank you, everybody, for your time and for attending. We are so happy that you decided to join us tonight. And if you have any questions, please let us know.